Welcome to the Commercial Excellence Academy by Asbiverse Group. Today, we're diving into something really powerful, the route to shopper methodology. And we're going to look at it in one of the toughest, fastest-moving sectors out there, non-alcoholic beverages. Here at the Academy, our whole focus is on helping organizations connect insight, influence, and execution. And this methodology is right at the heart of it all. So, let's get started. So why does this matter so much? Well, it all comes down to this one staggering statistic. You can have the best advertising in the world, but 70 to 80% of the time, the final decision happens right there, in the aisle, at the cooler, at the point of purchase. In a category as packed as beverages, that's the final frontier, the ultimate battlefield. This is exactly why a structured approach isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential to win. Okay, so if that's the battlefield, how do you make sure you come out on top? Well, the answer is a truly integrated strategy. The route to shopper methodology focuses on integrated shopper-based value creation, which is enabled by the Guide Paths framework. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but stick with me. It's all about making sure what a brand wants to happen and what a retailer actually does are perfectly in sync.
Now, this framework has two parts that are basically two sides of the same coin. First, you've got Guide. You can think of this as the brand or manufacturer's playbook. It's their vision, their strategy, their why. Then you have Paths. This is the retailer side of the story, how they bring that vision to life in the store to create an amazing shopper experience. They're designed to fit together, to work in perfect harmony.
And when you get that harmony right, that's when you unlock what we call integrated shopper-based value creation. Really, it's just a systematic way of breaking down the silos that so often exist between brands and their retail partners. When everyone is speaking the same language and working from the same playbook, you create fantastic experiences for shoppers. And that drives real, sustainable growth for everybody involved. It's a true win-win. And you can see that flow right here. It all begins with the brand's big idea, their strategy, all defined using the Guide framework. That strategy then gets translated into the real world, into the store, through the Paths framework. And the result? A shopper experience that feels completely seamless, where the plan from the boardroom actually connects to what you and I see and feel in the shopping aisle. Okay, so that's the theory, but you're probably wondering, what does this actually look like in practice? Well, now let's bring this to life for the non-alcoholic beverages sector. This is where you really see how these universal principles get tailored. Because let's be honest, the way we buy a soft drink is very different from how we buy anything else. Think about how fast the beverage journey is. You might see an ad for a new energy drink on your phone. A little later, you're standing in front of that glowing cooler weighing your options. The purchase itself, it's often pure impulse, a split-second decision. You grab it, you drink it, and that experience is what decides if you'll ever buy it again. Every single one of those moments is a chance to make a connection. So what's driving that split-second choice? In beverages, it's a fascinating mix. Sometimes it's just a craving, right? You need something cold, something sweet. Other times it's about health. Is it low sugar? Does it have electrolytes? Or maybe it's for a specific occasion, something for a party, or a recovery drink for after a workout. And of course, convenience, price, and plain old brand loyalty all have a huge role to play. And let's not forget where we buy these drinks. Sure, supermarkets are the biggest piece of the pie, but a massive chunk happens in convenience stores, where grab and go is king. Then you've got cafes, restaurants, even the humble vending machine. The beauty of this methodology is that it works across this entire landscape, ensuring that brand promise is delivered consistently, no matter where the shopper is. All right, let's get even more practical. How do Guide and Paths actually talk to each other? Let's use a simple example to show you what we mean by that mirror image relationship between the brand strategy and the retailer's execution. So let's imagine a new sparkling water brand is launching. Using the Guide framework, the manufacturer gets crystal clear on their story. They decide they're all about healthy hydration. They figure out exactly who their shopper is, what they care about, and what messages are going to land. This becomes their strategic blueprint. Okay. Now the grocery store takes that exact blueprint and, using the Paths framework, they bring it to life. They know the goal is healthy hydration, so they make sure that sparkling water is on the shelf right next to other premium wellness drinks. They set up a chilled display to make it an easy impulse grab. They're not just stocking a product, they're translating the brand story into a physical, in-store experience. And you can see that strategic symmetry right here. Look at how these things line up. On the manufacturer side, you have perfect store principles from their guide. The mirror image of that for the retailer?
It's planogram development in their paths. It's a perfect match. Same for execution, same for collaboration. This isn't an accident. The whole system is designed for this kind of seamless, powerful teamwork. So what's the big deal? Why does all this alignment matter so much? Well, this is the crucial part. It's about turning all that smart thinking and planning into something you can actually see and measure. Real, tangible impact, right where it counts.
And this really says it all. Together, Guide and Paths connect strategy to shelf, or the point of purchase, and intent to impact. It means your big ideas don't just stay in a presentation. They make it all the way to the shopper. It's about closing the gap between what you want to happen and what actually happens, driving collaboration and delivering results you can count on. So what kind of results are we talking about? Well, imagine driving a 12% lift in category growth. When a brand and a retailer build a joint business plan using this shared framework, that's the kind of potential they can unlock. And just as a quick note, all figures you see here are for illustrative and training purposes only. Or how about this one? We've all been there, right? You go to the store for your favorite drink and the shelf is empty. It's the worst. Well, with better aligned planning and execution, partners can slash those out of stocks. And that doesn't just save one sale. It keeps your shoppers happy and loyal for the long run. We've covered a lot of ground here, from the big picture strategy all the way down to the details of in-store execution. So before we wrap up, let's just take a moment to pause and let this all sink in. I want to leave you with a question to reflect on. How could Guide Paths thinking change the way your organization plans, collaborates, and delivers value to shoppers? Really think about it. Where are the connections strong between your strategy and your execution? And where might the gaps be? Where are those opportunities to create that perfect symmetry and deliver even more value? Thanks for your engagement. For more details on individual modules and for custom creation, do get in touch. Best wishes and goodbye from all of us at the Commercial Excellence Academy by Asbiverse Group.